What is good, my lovely, lovely people? It's your boy Irfan Amazing back at it again with another video for you guys here today. And today I wanted to talk to you about melancholy. That feeling that you feel, whether it be in the middle of class or whether you just sit in your room and contemplate the many things in your life going on at the moment. There are a lot of things that are spiraling through your head, and you get this feeling to where you're not essentially feeling depressed, but you're not all there. You're not happy. You're not neutral. It's below neutral, but it's not in that threshold where you can call yourself sad. And that's melancholy, at least what I like to think of it as. And so, with being melancholy, we tend to feel this way for a few reasons, right? At least in my opinion. Because before I say any more, I just want to clarify that this is all just subjective and from my experience. And with that being said, it's not solely just an opinion, it's something that I think can be shared with you. So I guess you could call it an opinion, but I know that you could probably relate to this, at least to some extent. But when we feel melancholy, it could happen for a variety of reasons, okay? One of those reasons I tend to believe is a loss of purpose. You see, it could be something as small as mindlessly scrolling or mindlessly thinking throughout the day, or maybe something more intrinsic, something more deep, something like not knowing what you're doing with your life and not having a sense of direction and where you want to go. Maybe something happened recently in your life. Maybe things took a turn that you weren't expecting. Something happened along the way that made you trip up and made you forget not only who you are, but what you're destined to do. And it happens to the best of us. It honestly really does. And losing your purpose, it's not good at all. I don't want to say the obvious, but I'm saying the obvious. If you don't know what you're doing, you are not in a good position, but it's not necessarily too much of a bad one, okay? Let me explain just briefly. You don't know what your purpose is. You forgot your purpose. You don't know what you're doing. That's okay, simply because you're a student. I'm a student. I'm going to die a student. I'm always going to be learning. I won't know what my definite purpose is aside from worshiping and doing good. Those are the two things that I believe my purpose aligns with. And I think that's what everybody should strive for, at least for a start. But if you don't know what your purpose is in a more detailed manner, more specific manner, maybe more career oriented or more philanthropic, that's okay. Okay, if as long as you're still thinking, that's okay. But that ties back to you being melancholy. You don't know what you're doing. And aside from not having a sense of purpose, it could also be not having a sense of gratitude, okay? And I know that sounds messed up. I don't mean to sit here and tell you that you're not grateful enough for your life because you're feeling melancholic. No, that's far from it, okay? I would just be serving, it would just be a disservitude to myself too, because I often, or not often, but I occasionally do feel melancholic. But gratitude, it really, it brings us to earth. It really humbles us and it reminds us that there are things in our life worth being happy about. And maybe sometimes in life you need to give yourself a little nudge, sorry, a little reminder that you can take a look at the things around you and most certainly be grateful. Like heck, I have a TV in my room. I'm grateful for that. I got my keyboard. I got a happy family. I'm under a roof. All of these things. I'm grateful every day to our creator for these things. And sometimes you just have to consciously remind yourself that there are things in life that you can put sadness away for just for a little bit. I know we said that melancholy is not necessarily sadness, but you know what I'm getting at. You can put the melancholy aside just for a little bit and actually think on the things you're grateful for. It scientifically has shown that you do feel better. You intrinsically feel better. You consciously feel better, subconsciously, all of the above when you actually choose to be grateful for things. Okay? So aside from not knowing your purpose and not having a strong sense of gratitude as you want, those things can cause your melancholy. And also, just to clarify, I know we as human beings tend to or want to think of ourselves as gracious and grateful for the things in our lives, but sometimes it slips away from us, right? And honestly, that's okay. And another thing too, this is less of a reason and more of a statement that I heard somewhere, right? I don't know who said this, but essentially, we should consciously choose to smile. And I guess that is another reason, not smiling as much as you should. We don't smile, right? And we forget that there are going to be days to come where pain comes to our front door. It comes to our doorstep. It comes seeking a reaction out of us. It comes to our door out of nowhere, bringing us the worst news possible at the worst timing ever. These days are bound to come. And so, why not smile now? Your third reason, I guess we've now called it a reason, is that you're just not smiling enough, right? You gotta choose to smile and choose to consciously be happy. And this isn't you necessarily lying to yourself, this is you telling yourself, hey, maybe I should take a look at things in a different perspective, right? Maybe I should instead smile more instead of wandering off in my brain and ground myself in the idea that I'm happy right now, okay? Because I know it sounds like a crazy thought. How can you choose to forget to be happy? Why do you have to consciously tell yourself to smile? Why do you have to bring it out of yourself? Honestly, I don't have an explanation for it. I'm going to be honest with you guys here. I don't have an explanation for it. But happiness, you feel it just by smiling. And that's crazy. That's honestly something crazy to think about. You can feel slightly better. I'm not saying that you're going to feel all jumping joy from smiling, right? But you will feel a little better, right? And so from losing your purpose to not consciously grounding yourself in gratitude to not smiling more, I could list 10 more reasons, 100, 1,000 more reasons why you feel melancholy, right? Because everybody's different at the end of the day. It could be an underlying issue. It could be something clinical. It could just be having a rough day. But melancholy, moreover, is just a broad feeling that comes and goes. It's not something momentary. And so these are the three biggest things, in my opinion, in someone's life that can really push them towards a place in life where they feel melancholy. They feel these feelings more often than they should, right? And I myself included have felt this way a lot of times. And so my best advice to you here, ladies and gentlemen, to the person watching this that I sit in front of, find your purpose, and if you have your purpose, set action. Don't wander mindlessly throughout your brain, throughout your mind, throughout this space that you're so capable of doing so many great things in. Don't wander mindlessly. Find your purpose, right? That's one. Number two, start a gratitude journal. Start being grateful for things in your life. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. Sorry, I'm talking really fast. I want to wrap this up, so I'm not keeping you here too long. Start a gratitude journal. And last but not least, okay, smile more. Smile more, gratitude journal, purpose, acting purpose. Be conscious of your actions. Always be conscious. Conscious. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of me doing this? Does it serve me any good? Is it a servitude to my day? Is it being productive? Am I being productive? Am I happy? Am I actually happy doing this? Okay, so ask yourself all these questions and do these steps, right? Because these are all big things. They may not be the biggest things or the biggest underlying reasons to how you feel this way, but they're certainly a start. Thank you.